Hey, this is David. Today we're going to show you how to fix a Kenmore dryer that runs but doesn't heat. In my 30 plus years of doing appliance repairs, yes, I started when I was 10, I got many calls about electric dryers that were running but not heating. And you know what I found out? There was typically 3 common areas that caused the problem: incorrect voltage, a bad heating element, or a defective high-limit heater kit. Of course, there are a few other rare situations, but for the most part, these areas are the most common. Let's work together to identify and fix this problem step by step. Before we get started, hit those like and subscribe buttons if you want to join our repair community and get notified each time we post a new video guide. With over 2 million products in stock and the know-how to help you do it yourself, we are AppliancePartsPros.com. Today, we're going to need a 1/4-inch nut driver, a 1/4-inch socket, a putty knife, and a multimeter. When I was out running service calls, I had many customers tell me there couldn't be anything wrong with the voltage since the dryer was still running. But the truth is, even though it takes 240 volts AC for a dryer to run and heat, a dryer will still run on 120 volts if the voltage is on the L1 or black wire side of the terminal block. So we're going to check for voltage on both sides. For this test, we need the dryer plugged in and powered on. So you'll need to be extra careful to protect yourself from electric shock, which has the potential to cause serious injuries. Don't ever test live voltage if you're uncomfortable using a multimeter. We need to pull the dryer out far enough to access the rear terminal block cover. Then remove the 1/4-inch screw and set the cover aside. Now you need to set your multimeter to AC voltage mode and put one probe on the white neutral wire and the other on the black wire. The meter should read 120 volts AC. When we move one probe from the black to the red wire, you should get a reading of 120 volts AC. Now move one probe to the black wire and the other probe to the red wire. You should see 240 volts AC. If your voltage is correct, then we can move on to the next test. But if the voltage isn't right, then the issue is with the household electrical system. This is more common than you might think, and you'll have to get an electrician to investigate further. If you got good voltage, let's take a look at the heating element. A dryer's heating element generates heat to dry clothes by passing an electrical current through metal coils to generate warm air. Then the air is circulated through the dryer drum by a blower. Before we continue testing, make sure the dryer is unplugged from the power outlet. We need to use a putty knife and push in on the 2 clips that hold the front panel in place, then we can remove it. You also need to remove one of the 2 wires from the heating element. Now set your meter to resistance mode. Use the meter probes to check across the 2 terminals. You should see about 10 to 12 ohms. Your resistance may vary based on the wattage of the heater. If the resistance is way off or shows an open circuit, then you'll need to replace the element. If the heating element is good, let's move on to the high-limit cutoff kit. To get there, we need to open the door and remove the lint screen. Then use your 1/4-inch nut driver to remove the screws holding the blower housing cover. This gives you a little bit more room to get into the high limit cutoff and thermostat. Now you can check the high limit cutoff, which is behind the front thermostat. Pull one wire off the cutoff, and with your multimeter set for continuity, use the probes to check across the 2 terminals. If there's no beep from the meter or no continuity, then you'll need to replace the cutoff and thermostat. While you're here, make sure you check the heating element to see if it's grounded. To do that, remove one of the wires from the element terminals and check from one terminal to the metal housing. If there's a beep from the meter or it shows continuity, then the element is grounded and will need to be replaced. After making our 3 checks, we found out the heating element on this unit was defective. Let me show you how to replace it in case you have the same problem. First, we need to remove both wires from the element. Next, find the single 1/4" screw on the side of the element box just in front of the terminals. You'll need to use the 1/4" socket or nut driver to remove it. There's another 1/4" screw in the front of the heater box which holds the shield in place, and you'll need to remove this one too. Now pull the heater all the way out. Here's the old heating element and here's the new one. If you've already got one, great. If not, you can pick one up at appliancepartspros.com. Just slide the new element in with the 2 terminals on the left side and push it in until it stops. Then put the shield back into place and secure it with a 1/4" screw. Now add the other screw that came out of the side. Then replace the 2 wires and install the blower housing cover and the bottom panel. Once you open the door and insert the lint screen, you're done. Don't forget to plug the dryer back in or flip that circuit breaker back on. All right, we are done. Now that we found the faulty part, whether it was a heating element or something else, grab your model number and head over to appliancepartspros.com to order a replacement, which should arrive in just a few days. After you get your new part, we'll walk you through the installation with our video guides. How did your repair go? Let us know how it went by leaving a comment below. If this video helps you, hit the like and subscribe buttons to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.